Hi guys, Andrew here with another quick clip, and this week I want to talk to you about my favorite piece of studio furniture, and I'd like to dedicate this clip to Noami. Thank you for sending your requests through in the YouTube comments section. Enjoy. Now, I've had a few people ask me about my studio palette. In fact, it looks like a bit of an odd piece of furniture, and you might not have seen anything quite like it. I've made it myself, from found objects and also store-bought objects. But the point behind this video is just to show you how you can take things from around your home or around your workspace and create something that is entirely useful. It's all about what you need to get out of your studio practice, and this piece of studio furniture fits my exact needs. We all have different needs as artists, but here, with this piece of equipment, I'm able to see exactly what I'm doing with my color mixing. So let me talk to you about how I made this studio palette. For years, I've been using marine plywood as the surface for my palette. This has become more smooth over the years with just the sheer amount of color mixing that I do for my paintings. But I've decided recently that I needed to work on something that was a little more slick, and I thought I might like to move to glass. This also has the added benefit of whenever I demonstrate for my subscribers through my website what colors I'm mixing, they'll be able to see exactly the color. So I wanted to move from timber to glass with a gray background. Now, we could buy all sorts of setups that would cost the earth, but now what I've done is I've made this out of entirely recycled materials. Let's get started. We could find glass anywhere, and in fact, just about any sheet, so long as it's the right size, would be suitable. The piece that I found actually came from the garbage dump, and it was a shelf out of an old refrigerator. Not only was this nice and safe because it had a plastic edge, but it was exactly the right size. First step is to thoroughly clean the sheet of glass. It is absolutely filthy. So once I wash and dry this, I get the surface prepared, ready to accept some spray paint. I use a neutral gray priming spray paint suitable for glass and plastic. I flip this over and spray paint the back side. I make sure I get a nice even coat. After this is dry, I flip my sheet of glass back over and mask out the surface of the glass so I can get a nice clean black edge, leaving the sheet of glass as clean as possible. I then spray paint the edges of the plastic black, just for a nice slick look. I leave this overnight to dry, and by the next day, the masking tape and the paper is ready to peel off, revealing a beautifully flat, clean surface. Now we need to attach our palette to the existing palette that I have in the studio. And to do this, I'm going to use some bits of hardware that I found. I've got some old picture framing equipment that would perfectly clip that piece of glass into place, and I'm going to screw it directly onto my old palette. I drill the little angle brackets directly into the plywood, making sure that my fingers are out of the way. Now that I've got my palette firmly attached, let me deconstruct this entire rig so you can see all of the other components that went into building it. I found an old gas lift stool where the leather seat had actually frayed, so somebody just threw it out. If I unscrewed the stool though, I still have the gas lift operation that's perfectly functional. I felt this would make an ideal base for the studio palette. Then, out of scrap bits of lumber I had laying around, I cut to size a tray that would accept a table easel that I already had. Now this bit's important. I'm using the table easel because it's infinitely adjustable. I can adjust it up and down a sliding track, but also I can adjust the angle and the tilt. So the table easel is on one side, which leaves a little bit of a shelf space where I can put some brush holders. Now these are old cylinders designed specifically for draining cutlery. Nice and secure, and I'm able to hold loads of brushes. Now this studio palette has got several advantages to it. Number one being that it's easy for me to demonstrate and see the exact color that I'm mixing. Number two, it's easy to clean. The paint just scrapes right off and then you can wipe the surface clean. Number three, it's virtually infinite in terms of the height and the angle adjustments that I can make, making it super convenient to work with in the studio. And number four, It's cheap. Again, I've built this entire studio palette out of bits that I found or just had lying around. Well guys, that does it. If you liked what you saw, hit that like button. And if you want to come back for more, make sure you're subscribed. And as always, you can find me on Instagram or Facebook. But for my subscribers, I've got something extra special for you. Head over to www.andrewtischler.com and you guys are going to have access to my upcoming ebook all about the fundamentals of painting. But not only that, there's going to be a special giveaway in association with my new Portraits DVD to be released very, very soon. We'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching.